Bechoros Daf Chof Ches. In describing how long one has until he must shecht his animal, it's unclear from the Mishnah whether the Mishnah means you have 12 months plus 30 days, or you only have 12 months and the 30 days only in a situation where it has a mum. The Maskanas HaGemara, it goes as follows. In the time of the Beis HaMikdash, when you were able to bring the Bechor as a carbon, then you have, if it's a complete animal without a mum, it's a tam, then you have 12 months. Bizman Hazeh, when there's no Beis HaMikdash, you have 2 to 3 years until it develops a mum. Once it develops a mum, you have up until the year, and if it developed a mum after the year, you have 30 days. So basically what's going on here is that you have the longer of the two. In other words, if you have more than 30 days, you have up until the 12 months. But if, let's say, the mum happened 15 days before the end of the year, so now you have at least 30 days. So total of 30 days, you get another 15 days into the next year. That's what the Brisa says. And it seems like Rebbe Lazar in the first Lashon says exactly the same thing. You have 30 days from the time of the mum. So if the mum happens all the way at the end of the year, you can go into the second year up to 30 days. On the other hand, Rebbe Lazar says, there's a Lashon Rebbe Lazar, that he learns a new pshat in the words Shana B'Shana. Yesterday we had two pshatim, he has a new pshat. He says it means literally you have 2 years, but not 2 years, 2 times 365. What he means is 1 year plus 30 days, because 30 days is counted as a year when it comes to Arla, etc. Just the problem with this Rebbe Lazar is that the Brisa is Saisarim, because the Brisa that we just had says that you only get up to 30 days from the time of the mum. You don't get a year plus 30 days in all situations like Rebbe Lazar wants to say. Says the Mishnah, you must show your mum on the Bechor to a professional. If you didn't show it to a professional, and you shechted the animal, and then you try to show it to a professional after the animal died, say, here, is this a mum or not? It's a machlokes. According to our mayor, you can't do anything with this animal. You must bury it, because we give you a knas, we penalize you, because there's cataracts change at the time of death. So it's impossible to know whether this animal had a real mum or not, because it could be that it changed when the animal was shechted. Because of that, we instituted a gzeira on all mumim, that if you don't show to mumcha before the shechita, you lose out, even though it's a real balmum after the shechita. Rabbi Yehuda says no, only cataracts you can't do anything with after the shechita, but all other mumim there's no gzeira. And in fact, from the Mishnah, the lashon in the Mishnah is mashma, that is the pshat, because it says, the Rebbe Meir says, the reason why it's us is because you didn't listen to what Chacham said they have to show it to mumcha, so it's a knas. If there are witnesses that say, we saw that it had a cataract before the shechita and that's what it looked like, we don't say that every time the animal dies, his eyes change. And even if he had a cataract before, his eyes are going to look different now, and the Eidim are lying. Because sometimes the eyes don't change, as it says specifically, Sachli Rabbi Yeshaya, the Minusha, Bava Reka Bedukin Shemishtanim, that sometimes, let me show you, sometimes they change, but sometimes they don't change. Says the Mishnah, if a non-professional caused somebody to shech his animal by telling him, hey, your animal has a mum, and he was wrong, he's not a professional, what you do is you have to bury this animal. Now, what animal are we talking about? So again, according to Rameir, it's all animals, all mumim. But according to Rabbi Yehuda, some mumim you could tell after the death of the animal. So check it out now. The only mum that you can't check after the animal shechted is a cataract. And this non-mumcha, this non-professional, must pay for his mistake. How much does he pay? For a smaller animal, he pays 25% of the value of the animal, and a larger animal, 50%. What's the logic? Says Rav Papa, because a larger animal, the loss is much greater, which needs understanding, because yes, it's greater, but just let's be consistent, 50% per animal. So if it's a smaller animal, give him 50%. If it's a larger animal, 50%. Therefore, Rav Acha Barika comes up with the pshat, and he says, it's because of Gzeira, according to one pshat and Rashi, since you're not supposed to deal with small animals in Eretz Yisrael, and you dealt with them, so you get punished. We're only going to give you to recoup 25% of your loss. Another pshat is because the kohen, when he gets the animal, it would cost him a lot of time and effort to bring up the small animal, and he gains that he doesn't have to do that, so that therefore the owner only gets 25%. Says the Mishnah, once we're talking about people making mistakes, in the Mumim, says the Mishnah, what happens to a regular dayan who makes a mistake? Ta b'dvar Mishnah, he made a a mistake that's clear in halacha, clear in the Mishnah, that's a mistake. So in that case, since it's a mefurish Mishnah, he can take it back and he doesn't have to pay for his mistake. But if it's a logical mistake where there's a machlokes and it's unclear how he paskin wrongly, then he has to pay for a mistake. He can't take it back and he has to pay. However, if he's a professional, he's a mumcha from the Bezdin, then he doesn't have to pay. If he's not a mumcha and he just caused somebody a loss because he paskin the wrong psak, that's called a garmi, and you're potter, according to Rameh, you're chayiv. But if he did it physically with his hands, then he's chayiv. For instance, if he took the money from one person and gave it to another person, and that person doesn't deserve it, that's biyodayim and he's chayiv. If he took the mashkoin away from the malva and gave it back to the loiva when he was wrong, that's biyodayim. If he took peiros that were tar and he said they're tamei, and he said, let me show you how tamei I believe they are, and he took a sheretz and he touched the peiros and they're in fact tar, he has to pay for those fruit. And if he took tar fruit and he said that they're tar, and let me show you how tar they are, and he threw them in a pile that turned out to be tamei, and therefore he made his fruit tar tamei, he has to pay for everything. Says the Mishnah, an animal without a womb is not considered a treifa. It could live many years. In fact, they used to buy the best type of cows and pigs from Alexandria, from Mitzrayim, and the Mitzrayim didn't want other people to benefit from their cows and reproduce. They would remove the womb, and they lived for many years. So you see that doesn't create a treifa. Says Reb Tarfon, I once made a mistake, and I told somebody that an animal without a womb is a treifa, and they took the animal and they buried it. They did nothing with it. And he said, Holcha charmarcha tarfon. Tarfon, meaning himself, just lost his donkey because now he has to sell his donkey in order to pay for his mistake. Says Rebbe Akiva, no, you don't have to pay for your mistake. Number one, you are toya b'dvar mishnah. It's a mefurish mishnah in Chulin that an animal missing its womb is not a treifa. And we said that if you're toya b'dvar mishnah, you could take it back. Second of all, since you are a mumcha, as we said, a mumcha who makes a mistake, even not in dvar mishnah, even shikol adas, in logic, also doesn't have to pay. Have a wonderful day.